Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Christian Music Road Podcast. I'm Brendan.
And I'm Brad. Welcome to the podcast, everyone.
Thank you for filling it. I was waiting to see how long it would take you. I was gonna say we'll see if Brad catches on. So I'll try something new this time.
Been here a little bit, so I think I got the memo.
But it's great to see you back, Brad. I mean, you were here like an episode ago, but it's great to have you back again.
Definitely. It's good to be back consistently more.
And today we are with Rachel Jeanette. So we're gonna let Rachel introduce herself very quick, and then we'll dive right in.
Hi, my name's Rachel Jeanette.
Hello, thank you for joining us. We're just gonna start nice and easy. Can you tell us a little bit about your music background, and we'll get started with that, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I started voice and piano when I was 4 and ended up recording in the studio when I was around 10 and never really stopped.
That's very cool. Did you move to Nashville to make for music, or were you always from somewhere else? Because like we get artists from Oregon. I met with someone the other day. I was in like New Hampshire, so I'm just curious. Was Nashville always your stomping grounds, or
Yeah, they call me a unicorn. I'm actually from here.
very cool?
Nice.
Brad, you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, so that's awesome. Always being in Nashville. I've never heard the term before, but I love that, especially because you've done so much music over the years. You've also do acting as well. So can you tell people a little bit about how you also got started in that and what you currently do amongst the music, acting, all the things?
Sure. So, acting was kind of always my other favorite thing to do besides music. And I never really thought it would be a career. So that was a surprise for me. But when I was a senior in college, I booked my first role in a little series called The Hunger Games. And that was my first part. And did about 20 movies within the span of a few years. And I still loved music, but it was really difficult to balance both full time. And so I kind of let music take a back seat in that season and just worked on film. And then when I moved back to Nashville, I switched the two again because music has really always been my heart. But now I'm working on, I just finished my last project that should be out later this year. I have a series of commercials that's on TV right now, and a few films that are in the works that I can't really say much about, but I'm looking forward to being able to share a little bit more.
Wow, that's really awesome. You definitely are busy jumping in all the areas that God opens. So I love that.
And if you want to do movies and music, you should do a musical movie. Okay, that was just my one attempt. So, like, it's the best of both worlds right there. So, and I went through your YouTube channel a little while ago, just for people that didn't know you. Like, we were just researching, so we could come up with prompts. You have a couple covers on your channel. Can you tell us a little bit about those covers? And like, do you want to do more covers? Do you want to do more content?
That's so funny. I honestly don't even know what's on my YouTube channel. Thanks for letting me know. I don't know what's out there. One of my first EPs that I did was in the middle of obviously the coronavirus and just going through 2020. And I had a friend, Isaac Blaylock, come alongside me and just kind of record these songs for fun. We never actually intended on releasing them, but they were just some of my favorite worship songs at the time. And so that was my first EP I released, was called Heart Wide Open. I am writing a lot of originals now for my next project. I have writes almost every day at the moment. So just trying to find people that I feel like, you gel with and that you work well with in the studio, and just writing from there and from my heart.
That's always a good thing. Sorry, I was just waiting to finish. Show. Sorry. um, always follow your heart. That's what I think is the best advice for musicians. Like just from everyone we hear, there's this thing, follow your heart, follow your dreams and everything. So it's great to hear that you're writing from your heart. Braden?
Definitely. Yeah, I love that. And you also mentioned you just finished recording a new project, which I know you probably can't say much about yet, but could you tell us a little bit about your heart, especially in this season that you just finished this project, coming
Mhm.
through so much emotions and things over the past few years, I'm sure. Can you tell us a little bit about your heart in that current season of music you're in?
Yeah, so I'm so excited. I just released my last one late last year, and I was really pleased with where it landed. And that one, I had a lot of other writers come alongside me for, but the one that I'm currently working on, I feel like is a lot more personal. It's more into depth of who I am. And the first one was I just really wanted great songs that I related to, but this one is definitely more on the journey that the Lord has taken me on the last 2 years of kind of these ups and downs of um like having a dream like so close that you can grasp it and then it just kind of falls through. And same with the film industry. Like even this week, I was asked about a film and could have taken it, could have not taken it, but it's like so close. And then it's
Mhm.
just like, oh, it doesn't work out. And obviously being able to trust God in the midst of those ups and downs and what that looks like, truly trusting Him, not just saying, oh, yeah, I trust God and everything, but truly trusting Him and also dealing with the emotions of rejection and the highs and the lows and everything. But my EP right now is actually up for a Josie Award in October, so I'm super excited about that.
That was going to be my next point I was going to bring up. So that actually worked perfectly. So if you haven't heard Rachel's music, you can check out her EP and then her that is nominated for the Josie Award. There, I don't remember the song name on top of my head because I'm really bad with jumbling like 100 album names, song names in my head. But you can check her out on Spotify. Like I said, she has a YouTube channel. Brad, do you have anything else you want to add off that?
Yeah, on top of all the amazing things, like I'm excited just hearing about all that you have in store that God's working on with you. It's going to be awesome. For everyone who's watching, definitely follow Rachel. But you also have a really big presence on social media, which I love seeing it. Whether I'm on TikTok or Instagram, always seeing your videos, whether it's something just an encouragement or something funny or something really, giving God's truth to people. What's it like, posting so much on social media, seeing that people get impacted by that? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I think I'm a total goofball. And I think a lot of times in the industry, especially, we have to come across super professional. So Instagram is kind of my fun way of just showing with the funny videos, like the real Rachel, who's just silly and goofy and loves creating and creating fun content. And earlier this year, I started posting a Bible verse almost every day just to hold myself accountable to really digging into what the Bible says. And not holding it to a certain book or a certain pastor, but really saying, like, what does this verse, just the simplicity of one verse, say to me? And what does it mean to me? And then dwelling on that and just sharing it with people. So I've been really surprised at what people relate to. And especially on TikTok, because it's such a broad audience there, it's really cool. I get people from all over the world messaging me saying, I really needed to hear that today.
Mhm.
I'm so discouraged. I needed to hear that verse today. And I feel like just making people laugh is always such a great thing to do as
Mhm.
well.
For sure. I love that. It's always great seeing, people out there being amazing influences, role models, and
Exactly.
just being themselves on social media instead of falling into superficial, but just being real, sharing the gospel. It's always awesome to see.
And it always shows
Thank
like the
you.
real emotion, and real emotion is like a big thing. I think I've discussed this before on this podcast. Brad and I are all for like true emotion, so we love seeing that presence.
Thanks.
You're welcome. We just have a few extra minutes today, and we like to give our guests the floor to speak about whatever they want to bring up or anything they want to say. So we're going to give you the floor, whatever you want to talk about. It could be random, it could be serious, it could be a message you have, it could be whatever.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Well, I just want to say thank you to those that are watching. And really, I feel like what the Lord has been teaching me in this last few months is what faith really looks like. And I kind of mentioned this earlier, but just being fully dependent on the Lord really looks like. And sometimes it is just taking a step out in faith and trusting that He'll come behind that and provide for whatever you need, whether that's whether you're an artist and you're needing songs or you're needing funding or you're needing an audience, just taking that step of faith and being obedient to him, he really honors obedience in every area of your life. And also, I feel like the Lord has really been teaching me about what it looks like to come before him and not be perfect and not have it all together. And I actually wrote this song the other day. I'm so excited about this one. But it's about how sometimes in even services and ministries, they say, you know, leave your troubles behind, leave them at the door, come to God and just worship today. And I'm sure we've all heard this before. And although that's a great idea, Jesus says, come to me, all who are burdened, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. And I think in this season, I've been learning that we can come to Jesus, we can come to God broken and struggling and with questions. And I know one of the questions that I personally have had for years now is why I watched one of my best friends pass from cancer in her early 30s. And I went on this journey with the Lord of why would you let that happen?
Mm-hmm.
And it is one of those really hard questions of God, why didn't you heal her? Like you have the power to do anything. Why? And coming to God with those broken things and those hard things that sometimes we don't talk about in church or that we don't even talk about sometimes with our peers, but just coming to him the way that you are and knowing that he will give you rest. He will give you peace. You just have to come to him as you are.
I love that. And everyone, you should take that advice, wisdom, as motivation and everything. Brian, do you have anything else you want to say about that very quick?
Yeah, thank you, especially for sharing that. We always, for anyone watching the podcast, whether they keep watching, whether it's just for one episode for an artist, we always love showing them artists that we know are going to really point them to the right way, the message of Jesus, that we're not perfect. We don't just come in as great as we want to. It's bringing the mess, giving it to Jesus. And that's one thing I love about Christian music, just how God uses that to really meet us where we are, to let us know we're not alone. We can go to him just as we are. So thank you for sharing that. I love that, especially your heart for it all. It's great here, and especially in becoming a new artist, growing, getting your following. That's really awesome to see.
And those who are watching, make sure to follow Rachel Journey. Like I said, she has a huge presence on social media. You can find her pretty much on every platform. I think she's most active on TikTok and Instagram, but I'm just saying like, that's like the main one. So if you want to follow her, and make sure to check out her music, make sure to check out a couple of her movies, see if you can spot her in a movie. And Rachel, thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you guys for having me.
And to everyone watching, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the podcast.